Excellencies, Eminencies, dear mothers of Srebrenica, distinguished representatives of victims' associations, in the hall of the United Nations General Assembly, numerous decisions that have influenced the history of modern humanity have been adopted. Over the past 80 years, in this most famous hall in the world, important resolutions have also been adopted. One of them is the resolution on the International Day of Reflection and Commemoration of the 1995 genocide in Srebrenica. The adoption of this resolution is a triumph of truth, a step towards justice, and an encouragement for Bosnia and Herzegovina and the entire world. The final judgments of the highest courts of the United Nations, the International Court of Justice, and the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia confirmed that genocide was committed against Bosniaks in the United Nations safe zone of Srebrenica. These are court judgments that cannot be erased from the history of mankind. The highest courts of the United Nations proved what happened in Srebrenica in 1995. The genocide committed against Bosniaks has been thoroughly documented, scientifically proven, and confirmed by court judgments. The genocide against Bosniaks is not a statistic. These are not numbers. It is about interrupted human lives. People who had names, families, and dreams. Children who never grew up. Mothers whose sons never returned home. These are only some of the consequences of the genocide committed in Bosnia and Herzegovina, a state in the heart of Europe. Ladies and gentlemen, states that have the strength to confront the darkest parts of their own past demonstrate responsibility towards future generations. In contrast, states that deny facts established by court judgments remain trapped in the chains of hatred and instability. Therefore, today more than ever, we must defend the integrity of international law and the authority of international institutions. We must not allow facts established by court judgments to become a subject of political calculations. The denial of the genocide against Bosniaks is an anti-civilizational act. It is an insult to the dead and a new threat to the living. Why is it important for the United Nations to commemorate the International Day of Reflection and Commemoration of the genocide in Srebrenica? The significance of these days lies not only in affirming the truth, but also in its preventive dimension. It reminds us that the obligation to prevent genocide does not begin at the moment when weapons speak. The prevention of genocide begins much earlier, in the educational process, in the culture of remembrance, in the normative and institutional protection of human dignity, as well as in countering hate speech, discrimination, and dehumanization. We must strengthen the culture of remembrance. Remembrance is not a burden that divides nations. Truth is the foundation upon which lasting peace is built. Without truth, there is no trust, and without justice, there is no reconciliation. Ladies and gentlemen, the greater Serbian ideology and policies that led to genocide have not prevailed. War criminals failed to achieve their goals. They have failed to achieve their goal because the truth lives on. They have failed to achieve their goal because the mothers of Srebrenica preserved the dignity of the victims and persevered in the struggle for truth and justice. They have failed to achieve their goal because there are judgments of the highest international courts. They have failed to achieve their goal because there is a resolution on the genocide in Srebrenica. They have failed to achieve their goal because today the truth about Bosnia and Herzegovina and Srebrenica is safeguarded by people throughout the world. Remembrance of Srebrenica is not merely a duty to the victims. It is a responsibility towards future generations. New generations have a key role in building a better future. Young people must learn about facts based on judgments and evidence. We must all be aware that remembrance is not about turning to the past. It is the most responsible form of care for the future. Thank you for your attention.